Today I'm working on my 2009 Chevy Cobalt, and this is my most recent project. I rebuilt it. It had quarter panel damage and the rear bumper was damaged. So I still have a little bit of finishing work to do on that, but it's already passed the State Patrol inspection, so now I'm just going through the basic maintenance. And today I'm going to be replacing the spark plugs. Usually these spark plugs last 100,000 miles before you have to replace them, but this car is 14 years old, so it's definitely due. It only has 58,000, let me see. It has 58,028 miles on it. So usually before I start driving a car or before I get rid of it, I completely go through and give it a tune-up, new filters. Yeah, that air filter looks pretty new, and it just recently had an oil change. So the person that had this car before was in an accident. I believe it was a one-owner car, and probably an older person because they didn't seem to drive very many miles. And all the maintenance was done. The brakes are new filters, the oil change had just been done. But when I did a compression check just to make sure the engine was in good shape, the spark plugs did look original, so I'll go ahead and slap new ones in. All right, let's get started. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is remove the engine cover. And to do that, you pull off the oil cap and just give it a little tug. And it just comes right off. Oil cap back on. I'm going to remove this valve cover at some point and paint it. Definitely do that before I get rid of it. This car is a California emissions, and I'm using AC Delco Professional Iridium spark plugs, and there's a part number right there, 41-103. I always like to use original equipment whenever possible, unless there's a better alternative. And the first thing I'm going to do is remove all the coil packs. And you remove the coil packs by first removing the wiring. Pull back the gray clip, and then you push down on the tab and it pulls right out. And the coil packs take a 10 millimeter. Yeah, this car overall is in great shape. Looks like it was barely used before I apparently got in an accident. This valve cover looks horrible though. To remove the spark plugs, it takes a 5/8 with an extension, and for the extension I always like to use an extension with a locking release, so when you're pulling it out it doesn't leave the spark plug socket in there. You always want to hand start these. Last thing you want to do is cross thread it. And I believe the torque specification is 15 foot-pounds, but I'm not 100%, so I'm going to look that up real quick. Work these down to proper specs. Put the coil pack back on. Spark plugs don't look horrible, but they are definitely original equipment. And it only has 58,000 miles, but still with the age of the vehicle, they definitely are due to be replaced. I love these ecotec 2.2 liter engines. They are practically indestructible. With proper maintenance, they really run forever. last one. Yeah, because this is a California emissions car, one of my regular things I would do to get it prepared, either to use it or to get rid of it, the car, is I would replace all the filters, including the fuel filter. But because it's California emissions, the fuel filter's not external, it's inside the fuel tank. So tighten down the coil packs. Give these a little snug. You don't have to tighten these down crazy tight. Plug back in the coil packs. Make sure you push down the gray safety tab. Put the engine cover back on. Alright, clean up my mess, give the car a quick start. This thing runs like a champ. That's a beautiful car. And then I have my red 2009 Chevy Cobalt. This one has about 130,000 miles on it. And then I have my 2009 Chevy Cobalt that I bought new, and this one has 339,000 miles on it and still runs perfect. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.